Welcome in. And today, I'm going to state a simple fact. Overwatch and Marvel Rivals aren't the same. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, this is the core of the video, the title, the thumbnail, which is this. Content creators, especially the bigger ones that came from Overwatch to Marvel Rivals, don't like the high healing supports have in their strong ults because it's not like Overwatch. Now, let me expand on that. Comparing the support ults, let's say in Overwatch compared to Marvel Rivals, at least overall, support ults in Marvel Rivals heal a lot more and last a lot longer and can't be broken like, let's say, a Life Weaver ult. And a lot of people, especially Overwatch Marvel Rivals content creators who came from Overwatch to Rivals, and all of these player bases that came from Overwatch to Rivals, they don't get that difference. They're like, okay, this is an Overwatch clone, this is the same, this is the same, this is the same. But when they see a core difference, which is support ults actually can, and most of the time will dictate team fights, they're like, wait a minute, whoa, this can't be right. We need to nerf supports to the ground. They're way overtuned. Their healing is way too much. Nerf them to the ground. They should experience horrible hardship. And it's just like, guys, calm down. You came from Overwatch, all right? And you're listening to previous and current Overwatch players on how Rivals should be played. They're trying to turn this game into Overwatch. They're two completely different games. Sure, they interlink in certain areas, but there should be a distinction. While there's a lot of damage, and I mean heavy damage in Overwatch, and Rivals, there's heavy healing, along with heavy damage. Sure, there are some healing ults, like let's say Zenyatta in Overwatch, but I think it lasts around, I don't know the exact number, but around 5 seconds. Meanwhile, if you look at any support ult in Rivals, it's probably double that, if not even slightly more. These two games aren't the exact same, and a lot of this hatred of support of their ults too, I finally found what it stems from. Just brainstorming throughout the day, and I always kept thinking about this topic because I've been doing these more review type, introspection type videos. I finally found the reason why so many support ults and supports have been hated. Other than them being strong in the game, a lot of content creators and players are coming from Overwatch, and these games, even though people will say they play the exact same, aren't played the exact same. I've been playing Overwatch a lot recently, along with Rivals. You know, I've been pretty bored. You know how it is. You look at your gaming library, there's a lot of games you're like, none of them really fits me. What if I like, Rivals? Now, what if I play Overwatch, which is kind of the same as it? So, okay, I play that. I love Ramashra, by the way. I love playing tank in the game. People say it's horrible. The only bad thing, side note, as tank, I go into fights, and it's just like, okay, I'm fighting. Okay, the heals stop. Okay, I go behind cover, I'm waiting. I die, I turn around, my entire team is gone. It's like, where are you guys? One game I was flaming, not on the mic or anything, but I was just fuming in my mind, just like, where is my team? It happened team fight after team fight after team fight. But that's another core difference right there, healing. And Rivals, there's a lot of healing in the game. There's also a lot of damage in the game, kind of balances it out but in an unhealthy way. But especially in my ranks, which I'm not sure if it differs rank between rank, it may do and may have, but this is my experience. In Overwatch, it seems like there's a lot of damage. You need to take cover a lot more. Positioning is way, and I mean way, more important in Overwatch than in Rivals. Rivals, you can be in the open for maybe a few seconds, but if you want to die in Overwatch, you do that. You go in the open for a few seconds. So you really need to know pacing and map control and situational awareness and positioning, all of that more than anything. I don't know if it's just my role in tank, but I play best at tank, that fits me the best. But in support and Overwatch, it feels like tickle healing. And when people know that, because it's more sustain healing more than anything in Overwatch, but in Rivals, it's more of burst healing, which can heavily dictate a game. I mean, let's say Loki, he's my main. I'm number 49 in the entire world as of last season. I haven't played nearly as much as this season, but I'll get into it, in the middle of the season when things start, calming down, people actually play seriously. But with Loki, you can set up your illusion, let's say me, how I set up it as a line. A lot of burst healing, so it's boom, 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 instead of one burst. And that way, let's say there's a Groot in front of me, that Groot is getting sustained healing. And let's say there's not healing ready to give off to the Groot, the bullets or whatever the magic Loki shoots out goes straight through the group into the enemy team for damage. And at least from my knowledge, in Overwatch, that isn't really a possibility. Like, if you take any of the supports, you can't really do damage and heal with the same left click or the same ability. Sure, with Zenyatta, you can do the orb on a person and attack them, or even get the, perk where there's 2 orbs at 70% healing and then attack, but that's not really the same as one ability, like, let's say, Loki. Or even Luna Clap, but it is ability. Jeff, too, that's a big one. Lots of healing, you can do damage, too. And I think the main difference, the more I think about it, is the supports in each game. People don't like supports in this game because of how they're played, because they can actually sustain and actually can survive a lot longer in their own way compared to Overwatch. A lot of people hate Kiriko because she can, I don't know the ability name, but she can throw something on the ground, make her, sustain a lot longer. She can teleport and all that. People hate her, and, respectively, I agree. People do hate that because I'm about to get her and then she teleports away. And okay, along with their other abilities and her high damage. But people complain about support damage in Rivals. Kiriko can 2-shot. A lot of supports in that game can't 2-shot. And then, like, all these Overwatch content creators were like, oh, Luna's buff can now 2-shot? And it's like, only if you land all 3 of the projectiles, because if you notice, she shoots 3 primaries at a time. It's not like you shoot, it hits. It's not like that. It's not like Hella. There's 3 projectiles, all at different speeds, and you need to hit all 3 to actually 2-shot. And there's not really other supports like that. Maybe like Adam, I believe, can 2-shot or 3-shot. He's very close, I remember that. But it's like, there's other value than pure damage. I know a lot of people don't like the damage in Overwatch, and people like, don't make it like Overwatch where you give all the supports damage buffs when they did that, when the support strike happened. But I believe all the hatred, most of the hatred you will see, now I realize, it all comes, or majority comes, or stems from Overwatch content creators who came to Rivals. Their player bases of Overwatch coming to Rivals, or people influenced by those same content creators, by those same players that came from Overwatch to Rivals, and now that's kind of like a hive mind in a way, not in an insulting way, but it's kind of spreading that same idea of like, supports shouldn't be this way, supports shouldn't be this way, supports shouldn't be this way, and people don't really know this type of support, how it's so different from Overwatch, and people don't like to adapt, they just like to complain when something's not going their way, when something's not up to norm, when it's not normal to see. Because if you play Overwatch every single day, several hours every single day, for years, you're used to the same meta. You're used to the same DPS, you're used to the same tanks, you're used to the same supports. So when someone throws a wrench in that, and there's a new game which has supports played completely differently, have their ults have way more different impact, have their healing way different, I mean, you won't see like 45,000 healing in Overwatch. You won't see like a 75,000 healing in Overwatch. At least to my understanding, I've never seen numbers like that. At least it's not that severely common. And you will see some games with the support around like in the teens in damage, like 11, 13, around that. But you won't see a support with like high teen damage unless, very rare. But in Rivals, you will definitely see that. I've had multiple games probably in a row as Loki. If I'm unbothered, I will get around those high teens damages sometimes. I even got 20k damage one time. But people don't like that. People say supports are severely this, severely that. But just like Lifeweaver ult in Overwatch, there are ways to counter these strong support ults. Yes, you can kill through a support ult in Overwatch, but I mean, that's pretty simple. But you need to actually use ult for ult to kill through a support ult in Rivals. And you can just break through it. Like, let's say I said Lifeweaver. You can shoot down his tree. Same with Rocket ult. You can shoot that down. You can burst through all of these ults in Rivals. I mean, there's a whole character list which encounter Loki. Like, Phoenix can self-heal per burst. Look at that. It's a whole... I mean, you can pretty much get her whole health bar up just by Loki clones. Like, are you kidding me? You can shut off Loki's entire playstyle and punish him severely with a Bucky and a Moon Knight. There's, at least to my knowledge, there's not really a support DPS relationship like that in Overwatch, where if you play one certain DPS, you can shut down an entire playstyle. And this goes for like nearly every single support in Rivals. There are counters. They're not immortal, as much as people want you to talk about that. But I won't get this video too long, so I'll end on this. Overwatch community and the Overwatch content creators who went to Rivals have too much influence on what the game is. The game is not Overwatch. People need to realize that. Rivals is not Overwatch. No matter how many similarities you can point out, out, no matter the same abilities you can point out, no matter what. These two are separate games, separate player bases to the, to an extent, separate characters, separate lore, separate everything. So stop trying to treat them the same and think DPS should be the exact same in each game. Tanks, exact same in each game. Supports, exact same in each game. You guys ran away, and these are the content creators I'm talking to. You guys ran away from Overwatch because of what you turned it into with your influence. So, do not complain that it's not the same, let's say Rivals, the same as Overwatch, and try to turn Rivals into Overwatch. And then now, if you make it, I know some people are doing this right now, with their influence, changing how the game works. They're like, no, I don't want to play Rivals anymore. I'm going back to Overwatch. Let me get this. You as an Overwatch content creator, you made, with your influence, Overwatch worse. You went to Rivals, tried to turn it into Overwatch, made Rivals worse. Now you're going back to Overwatch? I mean, I would say stay in Overwatch, but I actually want to play Overwatch and Rivals. Overwatch was my most favorite game for many years in Overwatch 1 when I was still growing up. And just like, I'd rather have those guys not play Overwatch in general or Rivals. Get their influence out. This game shouldn't play the exact same. These games aren't the exact same. So stop trying to make the game the exact same. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys then. See ya.